Hey folks, Phil B-Man here. We're looking, probably our final look at our no brood splits, and I'll look at some of the different splits I've made and compare. So these were the very last ones we made, and we're pulling the strips out. So that's what it looks like from the top. And it's pretty cool today, so they're clustered up fairly tight. They like to be up under that blanket. But if you look at the bottom, it's still basically a 3-frame nuke. I'm a little concerned, there's not a ton of weight in there. These guys have been accessing the feed for a while, but they've been pretty slow storing it. So that's a concern. Maybe that's part of the problem, is the blanket. So let them get access to it. So not a lot you can see from the top there. So it looks like it's got quite a bit more feed stored. Oh, and lots of bees. That's a beauty. My guess is it's catch some drift from some of the others. It wouldn't have built up that much on its own. Nice basketball sized cluster there. We can live with that. Did you do this one?
Yes.
Here. But they did eat all their pollen, and that looks better from the top than the bottom. It's a queen cage. Remember, I just stuck those queen cages up there from the bottom. That worked surprisingly well. I might do it that way from now on. Okay, we're at a different site with splits made. In fact, these are the first ones I made. So they're quite a bit earlier. And so these had 3 frames of brood and a 3-week head start over the ones we looked at before. And I think it's paying off. From what I've seen, these are all pretty much indistinguishable from a summertime colony. So that's, going to be a solid hive. Okay, box of bees there. A little smaller. Oh, we can look at the pretty nice cluster there. You can show how, so it's grown. It would have been these 3 frames that had brood in them when we made them up. And, with the current temperature, this is kind of a 2-sweater kind of day. Those bees would fill that box on a 20-degree day. So I have a high degree of confidence in the winterability of these hives. A little less so with the other ones, but time will tell. Let's look at one more batch. Sometimes these are beggars to get out. Pretty fair. Blanket has maybe seen better days. Here's a good lesson. We can only see one strip. So where the heck did the other one go? It's not in the hive. It's probably the little tab fell in and the strip fell down in the hive. And so that's one where you would tip it up regardless, because it's almost for sure. There it is there, see? So we gotta pull that sucker right through. And look at the hive. It's pretty solid. Now the box, box is no heck. No. But the hive is all right, so those are splits made, I think it was the 2nd week of August compared to the ones earlier were, so these were made 3 frames of brood the 2nd week of August. The other ones were no brood the last week of August. So about 3 weeks different. And probably one whole cycle of brood behind on the no brood splits, but way less work. So we'll see a few more batches before we're done. Just for comparison purposes, let's look at a few standard hives. These ones are production hives that were in operation last summer, or this summer I guess. So they're pretty much bees and syrup from top to bottom. Very heavy box. This one looks a little smaller, but you can never tell from the top. Yeah. Oh, I think that one was added in for some reason. I think that came from a different seed. Looks like a beauty. It's this is a nice warm yard. The sun really shines in here nice, but it is a pretty cool day. Probably 7 or 8 Celsius right now. Right there too. They all look like that. I'll be happy. Okay, so we'll look at some more splits. I got some of the broodless splits here, and I'm going to be transferring them onto my standard pallets from these. These pallets were made for telescoping covers, so there's a space between the boxes. These are a little small, so I wanted to cluster them up a bit more. So I'm going to switch them over. Then we'll have a look at them while we go. So yeah, it's a hive. I'm not sure they're going to set the world on fire, but oh, that's a nice one. Oh, and it's heavy too. Whew. Quite a bit lighter. It's a decent looking hive. It's pretty cold. You can tell I'm wearing 2 sweaters this morning. There was frost on the ground overnight. So these things should be clustered up fairly tight. The sun is shining enough now for them to fly. Oh, that's a pretty decent one too. So just to recall, these were made with no brood, just a box of bees. That was the bees that came up through the excluder, and then they were given a queen, and that was I think right around the last week of August. So if this works as well as I think it is, it would save all the trouble of shaking brood when I want to make splits. So it's worth trying out, I think. That shaking brood when we're pulling honey does, well, you either have to bring an extra person on the crew or be prepared for a pretty long day. If it turns out I can do it without the brood, I always thought you had that brood to hold the bees, but I don't know that that's true. It's a queen cell. This one looks kind of typical. Maybe we can have a look at it. You can see all these inner covers or the blankets do help the bees. That cluster was quite small on the bottom, but up under that blanket they're warm and cozy. I am concerned about the amount of feed these guys have. Some of these boxes are not light, but not heavy either. I'm just kind of curious if they have any brood left in them at all. Very light heat. Well, there's a little bit of brood here. I see, oh, there are some eggs. Which is basically half a frame. If this were a spring hive, I'd be pretty happy with it and think we're off to the races. Going into winter, I don't know. If it were a nuke squeezed into 5 frames, it'd probably look pretty good. So, nothing wrong with it, that's for sure. Apart from being, underpopulated compared to the standard hives. And we're gonna swap these over, and then we're gonna put some tails on them. We've got about 1 more week of decent weather, maybe. So we'll give them a little bit more feed, and then in they go. About the same. Feels a little heavier. A little bigger. Quite light. Lots of bees. hives stacked up behind me here are also some are splits. Those ones were made, all the ones with the tags vertically were made with brood. So we'll look at a couple in a minute to see how they compare. My plan with these is to kind of have to baby them all winter. As I've been bringing them home, I'm putting all my splits on this side of the yard, all the regular hives on the other side of the yard, so I can put these splits in kind of the warmest spot of my shed. No outside walls or too close to the air intakes. We'll kind of baby them along. Feels like a good one too. That one won't need much babying. Pretty standard. Okay, let's look at some regular splits. These are stacked up, but we can still look at a couple on top. So these were made with the same queens a few days earlier, but with 3 frames of brood. Oh, and they're heavy. Oh. Not a heck of a lot of difference in cluster size, but I've definitely taken way more feed, or at least based on that one. These ones were made, some of the first ones. So these have a couple weeks head start. That one's jammed on its clip, is not coming off. It's heavy. Try this one. Fully integrated into the system. Those boxes are glued right down. Is there one you can get at? So, well, it's no giant. This is one, here's a tag for it. That's the very first batch. So they were made second week of August. 3 weeks head start over the first ones I looked at. And nice and heavy. That's biggest difference I noticed is the amount of feed. These ones I've been able to sock away is much more reassuring than the latest ones. Let's put that tag in it over here. Actually, Bianca, I'll put that there. You can grab a snipper and stick it on later. Have a look in there. That's a beauty. So we'll see. I'm actually just of the few I've looked at here, these ones that have been together for a while, and it's kind of the way I brought them in, earliest to latest. That's a beauty there too. Okay, so far so good on these splits anyway. So what we're going to do is we're going to feed as many as we can. I can't unstack these now because they're already orientated to where they are, but we can feed a third of them by putting pails on top, and the rest of them will lick up whatever surface spills out, and hopefully get a bit more feed in them. But it's these ones on the ground that I think need it the most. Okay, that's it. Have a great day.